What's up, ladies and gents? In yesterday's video, I posed the following question. You're thinking about a car, you've been shopping online, you decide you want to take a drive to a dealership to see stuff in person. So you leave your house, you drive down the highway, you pull onto our property, our lot. We're open for business. You park your car, you get out, you start walking around the parking lot, checking out the inventory, kind of window shopping, if you will. At that point, how do you want us to intervene? How do you want us as a salesperson or a dealership to approach you when you're here on the lot? I also put up the following poll, which reads, when you visit an auto dealership to walk the lot and look at vehicles while they are open for business, when do you want to be approached by a salesman? So the first category, immediately, I'm open to assistance. We got 8% of the vote. Give me a few minutes before saying hello, a little bit of space. That got 31%. Wait until I come into the dealership. That was the bread and butter of this poll at 49%. And 12% of you said, leave me alone, I'm just looking. And that was over 767 votes currently as I'm making this video. Now, the first thing I'd like to mention in this situation is when you pull up on the lot, like this car pulled up right now and this gentleman's walking in, we don't know how you would vote in that poll. And it's kind of like a damned if you do, damned if you don't. Because if we don't go out to you on the lot and say hello, that's the type of person that might say, look at this, nobody wants to help me. I guess they don't want to sell me a car today. If we do go out to you on the lot, you might be the type of customer that says, look at this, as soon as I show up, they're pouncing on me. They want to pressure me into a deal. So it's really like a no-win situation for a salesman. But ultimately, we're here to work, so we're going to approach you. Now, one of the important things I think for salespeople to understand is it's all in the approach, right? You got to have a common sense type attitude towards how you welcome your customer and approach your customer. And the main thing is you should just try to make them feel comfortable. So I am a big fan of giving people a couple of minutes, right? I kind of watch you from a distance, hopefully where you don't see me watching you, but I'm keeping an eye on where you're going, what vehicles you're looking at. And then after a reasonable amount of time, that you've been here, I'm going to walk out and I'm just going to introduce myself, say hello, and see how I can assist you, how I can help. Now, the bad way to do this, and I think what gives dealerships a bad name, which more likely will happen in much bigger stores than where I currently work, is when you walk up to the dealership or you drive up and you have salespeople just outside lined up, ready to go. The salespeople that are meeting you at your door, opening it to see what do you need, service or sales. They're most likely at a very competitive store where you have a lot of salespeople that are trying to earn a living. I think the only advice I can give to customers in this situation is just understand that you're going to get approached. And when you do, and a salesperson, which I have to imagine 99% of the time is going to do it in a positive way, right? They're trying to impress you. They're going to try to earn your business that day, is just be honest with them. So when they come up to you and they say hello and they introduce themselves, give them your name. It's not that hard to do, tell them what you're interested in seeing. If you are physically just looking and you don't want to be bothered, just tell them that. Listen, I'm going to walk around. Do you have a card? I'll come find you. These are things that could be done very quickly to establish whether you want to be helped or whether you don't want to be helped. And to the salespeople out there, I would just say follow your customer's lead. A lot of salespeople want to control the process. Let the customer lead you the way they want to go. It's going to bring their guard down a little bit. And then hopefully you can get to the point where you demo a vehicle, you test drive a vehicle, you price up a vehicle, and hopefully you sell a vehicle. The last thing I want to touch on about that poll was the bulk of it, right? The 49% of you that voted that you don't want us to approach you until you come inside the dealership. Now, this is our dealership showroom. We can fit 3 to 4 cars in here, essentially, depending on what we put in. And that's all. So when you think about it, the outside lot is essentially an extension of the showroom. So all these Traverses here on the lot, these are what I would call cars that are in our showroom. These Chevy Traxxas are part of the showroom. We have a charging station in the showroom. This is where we keep the pickup trucks, on the dealership lot or in our showroom. Even Waltree here is part of the dealership showroom. And boy, is she doing great. I mean, really, if you think about it.
Everything the light touches is our kingdom.
Wow. What about that shadowy place?
That's beyond our borders. You must never go there.
We even have a devoted section to used cars in our dealership showroom. Again, the outside lot just really being an extension of the building itself. Ultimately, once you drive in and you cross this plane, you're on dealership property. So at that point in time, I think it's fair game to find out. Like, listen, sir, you're looking for sales or service? What kind of car do you think you want to buy? all jokes aside, I think once you pull onto the dealership property, you just have to have the understanding that you're on a business's property who ultimately wants to sell you a car. So people are going to say hello, they're going to embrace you. And what I think you do is, let's revert back to the category right before this, was salespeople give people a couple minutes just to get out of their car and get acclimated a little bit with where they are in the lot and what's going on, and then just politely go up and do your thing, do your meet and greet. Customers, when they do the meet and greet, let's be honest, tell them why you're here, get the information you want, go back home to think about it. Now, in regards to this video and how we did this, thank you very much for your participation. I appreciate the votes on the poll. I think right now we're at like 810 or 812 votes, so it's still going, sort of mirroring the same percentages, as far as what we talked about earlier. But thank you. I appreciate you doing all that. Thanks for the thumbs up. The views are doing good. I'm trying to get back into making videos on a more consistent basis, forcing myself to do it no matter what. And I appreciate you watching, so thank you. A couple last things just to mention. A bunch of people commented about walking the lot after hours. Like in New Jersey, dealerships are closed on Sundays. It's a great time. If you can come down to the dealership and you walk around, you're not gonna be bothered by literally anybody because nobody's here. So in your state, if they're closed Sundays, that's a good time to do it. If they're not and they're open Sundays, you go after hours, you can kind of walk around and peruse the lot in the vehicles as you see fit. The other thing a bunch of people commented on is how much really are people just walking the lot? Because today is the age of the internet, right? Most people do their shopping online. They know what they want before they even get to the dealership. In most cases, they might have numbers, they might have appointments set up. That's truly the way we like to do it. Like, let's get everything done, let's get everything up front, ready to go. This way, when you come in, you're basically just driving the vehicle, making sure you like it, and taking delivery. But I will say, we still do get a lot of people that drive on the lot. And what I've noticed is a lot of times when people do drive on the lot to get out and they walk around, they never make it inside the showroom. So that's why personally, I like to still go out on the lot. I like to introduce myself, at least give them some form of an impression of what it's like here. Maybe make them smile, make them laugh, give them a card, something that when they do leave, because they never actually came in the showroom, it was very early in their shopping process, they'll have something to remember us by. That being said, we're going to end this video here. I appreciate you watching. Please click that thumbs up button. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. I picked up like 300 people in the last 2 days. It's awesome. Thank you very much for all those who have. And thank you in the future for those who will. If we do, this is why I wear sunglasses. If we do go